For Scrum TV, I'm Meghan Mutrie at the Royal York Hotel in downtown Toronto with the national senior women's team before they head off for their 2010 Rugby World Cup. Earlier today, we were at BMO Field for a very important announcement.
So Heather, another adventure begins. Finally, the Olympics subsiding a little bit, and now you're concentrating on the World Cup. Are you finding that transition tough?
Yeah, the transition's been difficult this summer. I think physically it was just as difficult as I was expecting. I'm not an endurance runner, so for the last 2 years I've been training my body for 6 seconds of pure speed and power, and making that transition from that to an 80-minute rugby game was really challenging. Some residual, I won't say injuries, but some body issues from bobsledding, which you can easily put a Band-Aid on it for a race, but really kind of becomes apparent when you have to play 80 minutes. So just some issues that I had to take care of. But in terms of mental transition, it's been a pretty challenging summer. Coming back into the team, I see a difference with the team, and I'm excited. I think the girls look great. I think that we have, there are some girls that are really going to stand out in this World Cup, and I think that Canada is going to be introduced to some pretty phenomenal players. I think that, for example, Kelly Russell, I think is probably one of the best rugby players in the world, and can potentially develop into being the best rugby player in the world. She's got amazing talent, so keep your eye out. And I mean a number of other players. I mean, we've got such experience from Gillian Florence. We've got great leadership in our captains, and the team itself has come a long way. So it was exciting to come back into this team. Anytime you can give back to kids, I think that's part of what we do this for. It reminds me, the Right to Play program reminds me of the internship that I did in Trinidad, in 2000. It's just development, using sport as a medium for development. And I think that just as, Robert said up at the podium, it is the best medium for development, both in community levels, between nations, with kids in terms of development in communities. It definitely, it just transcends the politics. It transcends everything. It's a wonderful way to have kids and grown-ups and everything. It's wonderful for development.
Right to Play and rugby are the perfect pair. Last year in 2009, Right to Play reached 1 million children. Rugby is played by 3 million people in 116 countries around the world. And now that it's in the Olympics, that audience is just going to expand. For Scrum TV, I'm Meghan Mutrie.